we're on Cam 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Hello again. It's a beautiful day, and thank you for joining us for another edition of your feel-good breakfast show. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. Now, joining us is the best decision you have ever made. Well, today, since you woke up. It's the best way to start your week. Start it with us.
Of course, we're going to be bringing you the right things.
Yeah.
Everything you need right now in the right proportions. And a very good morning to you indeed. I hope you had yourself a fantastic weekend. Restful.
Yes.
I know that everybody was forced to rest over this weekend.
The whole
So
country.
it was by force. Whether you liked it or not,
Everybody.
you had to rest.
Yep.
Because there was no work, no activity, nothing.
Nothing. Well, my name is Titi Layo.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. It's going to be a great show. Looking forward to it.
Now, being part of the show is as easy as pie, even if you have to be on the move. Remember, we're streaming live right now, tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Please, we appreciate those comments that you send in. The ones, especially where you tell us how good we look. Yes, we love those.
Yeah.
Please put in the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. And our chef for you today is very young and dedicated. It's Chef Trey in the kitchen this morning. Hey, guys.
Chef Trey, thank you so much for joining us. She's already greeting. She has a lot in store for us today. Today's breakfast is going to be fantastic. And it's something so many of us love already.
As in,
yes. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Or is it the what I am out of the bag?
hey.
I mean, she's been hard at work since before 7 o'clock, so I'm sure it's going to be something special.
Yes,
and
really
you know what we
good.
say about new chefs?
Oh, she's not new.
Super generous.
See?
ladies.
She's not new.
She's not that new.
Okay, she's not
She's
that
not
new.
that
Not
new.
that new.
Yeah, but she's still kind of fresh. So.
Yomi, what is it? What is it with you and food these
Yomi
days?
likes to arrange his food ahead of time. Don't you get it?
Distinguished food
Yeah,
So by the end of
gentleman.
the show, you've buttered them up so much that they're just serving you and only you. We understand, we get it.
So it's Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great weekend, and but we have something special for you this morning. Afro-pop artist Louis Fido will be joining us this morning for a performance. To get us started.
Yes, indeed. That's a really great way to start the show. But then, as we always do on Mondays, we give you a little bit for motivation, that motivator high. Now, he's a high-performance career coach, Richard Ogbeche. He'll be here to talk to us about bouncing back from adversaries.
Then we're going to bring you a rundown of notable events from way back in history in our This Week in History segment.
Yes, indeed. Then, to ensure that we keep the tires of our cars in good and safe condition, we have Ayo Shofele back in the studio. Now, she'll be actually in the garden with us today, and she'll be talking to us about how to take care of those tires.
From our successful Nigerian SME series, we're going to be talking to the CEO of Clean Ace Dry Cleaning. I'm sure you've seen that business somewhere around Lagos. And of course, he's going to be telling us the story, the success story
Yes, indeed.
of how Clean Ace started and how they came to be so great.
Yeah?
That is what story I want to hear.
Yes, indeed. Now, it's an exciting time for TVC as the new TVC News seeks to redefine the technique of storytelling in Nigeria. Now, we have a couple of our colleagues who will be joining us very, very soon. They'll be talking to us about this amazing new set, the things that people are to look out for on the show, and the fresh and vibrant news channel.
Yeah.
There will be...
Once you tune to TVC News,
Yeah, if you tune in there, it's...
this is what you'll see.
yeah, I was here on Friday when it went live.
You were here, like, right there?
Yeah, it was just like a switch.
Okay,
So it was
okay.
all green initially.
Yeah.
At 6:59, and then at 7, everything just turned blue.
Yeah.
And everyone was, was hanging around here, and it was, like a big round of applause when they finished the news bulletin. It was awesome.
It's
I
actually
I
amazing.
streamed it.
It's actually amazing. A lot has gone into this, looking to get investors, of course, encourage more business. You need to see the set yourself. It's an amazing one. Like, I was watching CNN this morning, and I said to myself, our set looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah, TVC News Nigeria set looks much better than CNN.
It does.
Yeah.
It actually does.
It does.
So, do you know the amazing thing? It feels like it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of positive energy around it. And Mike has been trying to find a way to get on that set. I can see it in his eyes. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at...
You just say something now that just
what
made me.
Mike wants to get on that set now.
You know it's good to start humble.
This Michael.
We are not humble. The way both of you are just going now.
What?
Be humble.
Why? See, it's a thing of pride. It's a thing of pride. Like you go on that set, even just walking by it, you're like,
It's
wow.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
There's a lot that has gone into
Everything we
this.
said was okay until you mentioned one thing. So just leave it. Let's just
CNN,
leave
I know
it.
that's where you're going.
Where you talk again? Okay, anyway, so weekend and all of that.
Ben,
It's
weekend.
been over and over. We know we've heard it 1,001 times. Yes, it was postponed and all of that. But how was it for you?
It was good. I mean, once I was awake about, I think 11 o'clock when they said INEC went into an emergency meeting. So I knew that there was
night, right?
Yeah.
Something was going to happen.
I knew something was going to happen. Even TVC News was there live.
Yeah.
So that's outside the INEC headquarters. So I knew that something was going to
happen.
Yeah, something was going to happen because everybody was now like, ah. Then, of course, on Twitter, it was trending. Everybody was like, I'm not going to sleep.
I'm not going to sleep.
Everybody was like, until INEC tells us what's going on, they're not going to bed. So
My
at
own case was
about
even
2 a.m., they then,
2, 3, yeah.
about 2
o'clock,
past
2
2, they then
past 2.
announced
So-
that it had been postponed.
I'm usually on radio on Saturday mornings, and because I wanted to vote, I had asked to have Saturday off. So I did a recording of my show. And basically the recording, I had a lot of, please let's maintain peace. Okay, right now accreditation is going on. So I stayed awake overnight to monitor the situation. As soon as the old news broke out at that time, I just went straight into the bathroom. Hello, sir, please come and pick me up. I have to go to work today.
Yeah.
So it was more a case of
people-
unplanned going out, and I had to be at work.
No, but for me, the cool thing was that the night before, I had to ensure that there was stuff around the house because, man, you're not going to buy something anywhere and all that. But
Stocked his
no, I didn't talk like that.
But
Everyone was
jealous
talking as if.
I feel,
Those kind of things.
Yeah.
That
And there was
was very
no
important
EPL.
because, like, NEPA just wanted to show themselves.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back again to a very great morning, Monday morning this morning. I am Thousdalin Peter, so I will be taking you through the basic self-defense techniques in Taekwondo. Before we get started, here is my partner. His name is John King Roberts. So he will be partnering with me this morning. And we go through some exercises now before we get into the basic exercise. Please join me. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're going to do some little stretch because it will help ease all the muscles. So we go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch the other way. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You go open this way. Stretch. Simple stretch. Go 1, 2, 3.
It's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right.
Out. So last few weeks ago we did some blocks, some basic blocks, downward block, outward block, uprising block. Today we are going to be doing the application with my partner here. He's going to assume a combat position and he's going to throw a punch at me. So I'm going to show you how to apply some of these blocks. So we are going to take it from the middle block. Ready? So he's going to throw out a punch at me. Go. Now if I do not move from this position, he's going to hit me. So try to do it by stepping in. Ready? You go. So this is what I do. I step out of the attack. This is the first thing you have to learn how to do by taking the person out. Again, you go. Now because I would not want to have anything to do with him, I just want to stay out. He comes with a punch, I take him and I push him out. This is all I can do for this. Now for the outward block, he comes this way. Now before the outward block, we are going to take it from the inside. Stay this way. So from this position, you come in, I could go in this way. So when I go in this way, he's open. His body is open, so I could either do the elbow strike or I do with the hip, back fist. And we do the same thing with the outer block. You come this way, outer block, and you can strike to the stomach. So this is another thing you can do. And now we go to the aramaki, the downward block. Now the downward block helps you to also protect your groin area. So when you're coming on your downward block, you go. So I go this way. This is my downward block on the horse riding stance. So we also assume this forward stance. Assume a front position, a front stance. So you're going to come on your downward block also. I step back and I give a downward block. Go. I go this way. So I do the same thing, he blocks also. So I go this way. So I do the same thing, you come. I go, same thing. So you can do this and practice with your partner over and over for a very good exercise. Now we're going to do a continuous punch to the chest. Continuous punch, and I will show you how to make this work faster for you. How you can also apply it into your usual daily exercise. Ready? Place your hands beside your waist and you punch continuously. You go, you go, you go, you go, you go. So these are outer block. This inward block, you take it in. Now for the outer block, I do the same thing. You go out, 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 and out. So I hope with this little basic you have learned this morning, you can be able to practice every day on your own. Thank you for watching. See you next week. I remain First Darlene Peter.
There's something amazing about Monday morning and all the... I've never really gotten it right. Like, I need to do some more exercise, I know. Well, welcome to the place where magic happens on Wake Up Nigeria. And joining me for breakfast this morning is Chef Turay.
Yes, good morning,
today she'll be making a special dish that is actually quite popular, but in her own way, in the Chef Turay way. So what is it called?
Yeah, it is shrimp ojojo and hibiscus drink.
AKA Zobo.
Zobo,
okay,
yes.
let's just stick to hibiscus.
Hibiscus, yes.
All right, so what are we making use of?
So we're making use of butter yam.
Okay.
We are going to grate it. When you are grating, you ensure you are using the tiniest parts of your grater, so it will be this smooth.
Wow,
if not,
it's quite smooth.
Yes, if not, it's going to give you this shaky.
Like Shaki.
It's going to give you that rough look. It won't be as cool as
that.
Yes,
okay.
And we are going to use rodo
okay.
and onion, which is grated already, and our seasoning cube and shrimps. The shrimps is minced already, just to give it a different flavor from the regular.
Okay, I noticed earlier you boiled the shrimps.
Yes,
is there any reason for that?
Yeah, I have to boil it. I can't use the raw shrimp like that, so that's why I had to boil it.
Okay, great.
Then this is our salt.
All these salts for this?
Ah, no, I can't use all. I'll just use
I was
it.
beginning to say, Chature, the kitchen is all yours today. Okay, then.
And this is our syrup for the zobo. This is just sugar and water.
Okay.
And this is our flavor, our cloves, and the zobo leaves.
Okay, so this is supposed to serve how many people?
This would serve 4.
4? Because I'm seeing this sugar and it looks small.
It would be okay since you are using
flavor again.
Yes.
Okay.
It might even be too sweet if you are not careful, so we have to make it moderate. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And of course, this is the
water yam. This is what it looks like.
Looks like before being grated.
Yes.
All right. So what's the process like? What's happening there? I see
so
both sides are busy.
This is the oil we are going to use in frying our ojojo, and this is the water. I want it to boil, so I can add my zobo leaf. You rinse it actually before you add it inside the
So you rinse this, then are you going to put all the flavors and all immediately?
No, I'll make it boil. I'll add this and the cloves together. So when it boils well and I sieve it, that's when I'm going to add this flavor and the syrup.
Okay, so let's get started on our ojojo. What's the first thing that we're going to do after grating that is?
Okay, we would add our pepper.
The oil is heating up, getting ready for us to fry.
Yes.
Oh, what a nice breakfast this morning.
It's always nice to put it in bits, so it won't be too much. It's not everybody that likes
pepper.
Yes, pepper. Okay. And if it is too thick, you can add little water, so you'll be able to cut it in bits.
Okay, now some people will tell you that what's ojojo without pepper? Is it possible to do ojojo for folks who don't like pepper? Like you take out the pepper?
If they would enjoy it, but you just ensure you add enough onions.
Okay.
That's going to.
Okay. So what do the onions do? They still give it that flavor?
The flavor and the
Okay.
taste.
Okay. You haven't added salt or anything
Yes, I
else?
would add this little by little. I want to beat it.
Okay.
Well, it can help me with the prawns
With all
first.
pleasure.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I put it in like this.
Let's be careful with the mind.
Okay. Am I putting everything?
Yes, my
Okay.
everything. I'm using all.
Okay. So that's it.
Yes, so we keep beating it, and as it is, we might need little water because it looks thick,
Okay.
very thick. So we need little water to make it a bit fluffy.
So without water, if I fry it like this, it's a bad idea. What happens?
It will be too strong, it will be thick.
Oh,
So it might not.
So that's why we get those crispy, crunchy,
Ojojo.
teeth breaking Jojo. That you just be like, ah. Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Thank you.
The oil is heating up so
I
fast.
would reduce the.
You're going to season it.
Yes, let me just speak.
2. Okay. So will those 2 cubes be enough, or you're going to add more?
It is enough.
Okay.
We have onion, so
This looks
onion
like a
is.
very simple dish.
It is simple, but most people don't even know what they call ojojo. Some people don't know. It is actually peculiar, mostly the Yoruba. So I don't know if other people do that. And you can use your water yam for ikokore as well. Water yam pottage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get this mixed and then of course add a bit of water as you suggested.
Yes.
And then afterwards we'll of course get to frying. The frying bit is the part I'm looking forward to. And I'm sure you're also looking forward to seeing the frying bits.
Yes.
Okay. I still see specks of this seasoning though.
Yes,
I
I'll.
hope it won't be a case of having a mouthful of seasoning.
No, I'll mix them. When I had water, everything
it
will
will help.
blend. Yes.
Okay.
That's why you have to mix it very well.
Aha, makes a
Very
lot of
well.
sense. Then.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. So this one will serve how many people?
If we would serve 4, it can serve at least 10 people, like 4.
4 for 10. Oh,
For
you mean
10.
10 for 4 people?
No,
What do you mean?
4 for 10 people.
No, it's always suggested, advised that you eat a hearty breakfast. So how can you tell me to eat 4 Jojo? And then you give me a glass of
yeah, you would
zobo,
enjoy
or
it.
rather, aka hibiscus juice,
drink.
according to her.
Yes.
Zobo. All right, so I'll let her continue while we get our budget-friendly breakfast ready. In the meantime, however, we need to go on this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.
It's Monday morning, of course, and because it's Monday doesn't mean that you shouldn't have some fun and get some music going on. We've got Funsho Alawode, aka King Louis Fido, who is a versatile Afro. You call it Afro dynamic. All right, I wanted to say Afro pop, but Afro dynamic. That's your style of music. What do you mean by Afro dynamic?
Yeah, basically it's just a fusion of a lot of kind of music all together, but blended with the Afro vibe. That's just the way I define it.
It's a fusion. It's not here or there, but just everything.
Yeah,
all
fusion
together.
of everything.
All right, let's have a feel of that this morning.
All right,
Take it away.
let's go.
Foreign wild music.
Head down. Hello, I'm Louis Fido. Say what? I heard your name is Delilah, but you remind me of Mona Lisa. Body like a painting of Picasso. Neon Pablo, El Chapo. No girl chains, but I'm feeling like Shabba. Hail Mary, the mother of Jesus. Some call I'm holy water. I beg, pour me the blood of Jesus. Babylon threw some slugs at me. Never scared, they see no fear in me. Uluwa, Selassie, cover me. Babylon, I want to affect over me. Babylon threw some slugs at me. Bad.
Then it's boring.
Okay, that had a very nice. It had very soft mood.
Yes, boss.
To it. So that's what you mean by the sound, the dynamic sound, the mixture of different sounds.
Yeah, the Afro vibe, the hip hop, and the you know.
So who would you say is your, or what would you say is your major influence when it comes to music?
Majorly, I really don't have someone I feel is like my mentor, basically, but I listen to everybody that does good music. Starting from Wyclef down to Fela to D'banj and a lot of people all over the world.
That's quite a nice
Yeah.
taste when it comes to music and all of that. So, but is there a body of work you have out there, something your fans can look forward to?
Yeah, of
An album
course.
or something? Say something you have out there.
Basically, I don't have an album yet, but working on something. But basically, I have a new song out, the one I perform now,
Yeah.
No Love, is out there. We're working on something more under the imprint of Foreign Wild Official. So we have a lot of stuff coming up from Foreign Wild.
All right,
yeah.
so they can look forward to and expect more good music, right?
Yeah, good music all the way. If it ain't foreign, then it's boring.
If it ain't?
If it ain't foreign,
Foreign.
then it's boring.
Why foreign? Why?
No,
Foreign.
still.
What do you mean foreign?
Something foreign is something exceptional,
Okay.
unique.
All right.
So if it ain't foreign, then it's boring.
All right.
That's just what it is.
All right. Okay. Let's head over to the kitchen. I don't know, Mary. They say if it's foreign, it's boring. You guys have something foreign happening there in that kitchen?
We have something very local and very delicious. Absolutely so. If you haven't tried Ojojo, hey, you are missing. Well, you're welcome back to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We still have Chef Ture in the building. And she's bringing her own twist to a popular Yoruba favorite. Shrimp Ojojo and hibiscus drink, aka Zobo. So people don't feel lost. You know how you see hibiscus flower or everywhere? You should check your screen right now for the ingredients: water yam, scotch bonnet, onion, shrimps, seasoning cubes, and vegetable oil. You see hibiscus flowers everywhere. Like you have this garden in your house about you know, and you don't know that you can actually pluck those leaves, dry them, and make Zobo in your house. Fantastic. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. Right in there is our Zobo.
Hibiscus drink.
Hibiscus. Okay, right in there is our hibiscus juice, aka Zobo. Inside, the ingredients for Zobo is for hibiscus juice is currently on your screen right now. Very simple: hibiscus leaf, sugar, and ginger. We didn't show the ginger earlier, but the ginger is actually in there right now. It's been blended. You blended it earlier, and then you put in the ginger as well as you also put in the efirin, the cloves.
Yes, kanofuru.
Or kanofuru, rather. The cloves in there. Now, what is the function of that, the kanofuru?
Kanofuru has this health benefit. It cleans the stomach, and it is actually good for ulcer patients as well. So using it there is just to give it, it's like you're taking a drug.
While also
taking
enjoying
the drink as well.
Wow, okay. So you see, not only is it very tasty, it's also very, very healthy. All right, so it's time for us to start frying our ojojo, shrimp ojojo.
Yes.
So if you missed the making of the ojojo earlier, she'll run you through it again now.
Okay, so what we did basically is we used our water yam, we grated it with the tiniest parts of the grater, and we added rodo, scotch bonnet, and onion. And we added our seasoning cube and salt to it, and shrimps as well. I boiled the shrimps and I minced it. So that's all.
And that's why we have this frying delicious. So we still have the sugar unused, or rather your syrup unused, and we also have our flavors unused. At what point do these go into the Zobo?
When the Zobo has boiled well and we've
that will take how long?
It can be up to 5 minutes.
Oh, it doesn't take long?
Yes, the water is boiled already.
Okay.
So when we sieve it, we are going to add our syrup and flavor into it. Then we'll just make it cool before we serve. Okay, now when we make Zobo at home, hibiscus juice. You've been saying Zobo.
So when we make it at home, we tend to use fresh fruits.
Yes.
You can blend fresh fruits, so that's also an option instead of using flavors, especially for those who are probably diabetic and want to make it themselves.
You can use honey as well.
You can use honey?
Yes.
I've never tried it with honey.
You can use honey.
Are you serious?
Yes, when you sieve it, you just add honey to it. That's what I do for my dad, because it doesn't take sugar. So I just add honey.
You just gave me a new idea. So honey in zobo. I'm actually shocked that I've never thought of that.
Instead of the sugar and flavor, you just use honey.
But that would be a lot of honey, and honey is so expensive now. So I'm sure people are like,
most adults, they don't really like
sugar.
Yes, so it doesn't have to be too much. If you just give it that taste.
That taste, at least, so it can be sweetened a bit.
Yes.
So you can use fresh fruit juice, because some fruits actually have a lot of sugar content as well.
Yes.
So you can just use honey with your konofuru, that's the cloves, as well as your hibiscus leaves.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic idea, fantastic idea. I'm so glad. Thank you for teaching me this new one. I'm going to try it this weekend, especially since this is also election weekend. Something to do at home to excite ourselves. Well, we have enough to do here to keep ourselves busy. But of course, the show goes on. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria. We'll take this break. Stay with us.
It's time for a little bit of Monday motivation this morning. So life has dealt you a very rough or a very hard card, and it seems like everything is dark. You cannot stay in that place forever, even if you feel like you want to, or you're slipping into depression or whatever. Now, maybe you have something that you want to start, you don't know an idea of how to get back on your feet. Then this conversation that I'm about to have with Richard Obieche is for you. Now, Richard is a high-performance career coach, an HR professional, and also a management consultant. And he's talking to us this morning about getting back on your feet, especially when there has been maybe a challenge, a setback. They usually call it, I know you motivational speakers, you guys usually call it turning your setbacks into comebacks. I like that. So talk to us this morning. You know, there are many different things that people can term as setbacks in life. Yes. It could be really serious issues or issues that are not so serious.
It could be losing your legs, actually. Yeah. Maybe you're a footballer out there and you lost your leg, you know, as a result of a very serious accident, and you feel, oh, life is over for your career has ended. You know, it could be losing a loved one, a spouse. It could be losing a job. It could be losing a promotion. It could be losing a major deal. You actually were hoping that that dream, that breakthrough will come, and all of a sudden, boom, everything is over, you know. There are several things that could hit you. Life has a lot of things, and that's the interesting thing about life, right? Life is sweet. The beauty about life is ability to come back after a setback. That is the beauty about life. That is, you look back 20 years after, and you are saying, wow, so I made it. Yeah. You know, I could see some sprinkles of gray hair or your mustache. Yes, that's actually a proof that you made it through some certain issues, some very serious challenges in your past. That has made you who you are now. Right. That has formed you, that has forged you into the kind of person that you are. All right? So one of the ways you can get yourself back is by having mental flexibility. All right? You don't focus on, oh, it has to be this way. Right? You can decide to say, okay, no longer this way. Right. I have to start changing gears. Immediately an adversity hits you, change gear.
Right. So, okay, so it's almost like being mentally aware that I'm in this situation, and then making a decision to, like you said, change gears. Immediately. So tell us about the changing gears.
Okay, changing gears is simple. You have to now start thinking about plan B immediately. Start thinking about what next, what next. You are in an organization and you lost a very key team member, and that team member helps you achieve your targets, right? Maybe in the bank or whatever it is, right? Or whichever it is. Now, it's important that you start thinking, okay, should I hire or I should move somebody from another department? You have to take that decision on the spot. There's what we call 1-minute managers, right? You have to take it immediately. So changing gears requires that you are thinking not at the spur of the moment, immediately. So the reason why leaders look fantastic is not that there's anything special about them, is that they have mastered the art of changing gears immediately.
And, you know, decision-making, quick decision-making.
Very fast decision-making power. You must have that.
So what about the situation where, okay, it's not a company, it more has to do with personal, maybe a personal relationship.
Okay.
Some people found themselves divorced,
Yes.
or a broken engagement.
Okay.
And maybe they've invested so much
into the relationship
or into the marriage.
Into the marriage.
5 years down the line,
Yes.
it's all broken down.
Yes.
So how do you change gears in that kind of situation?
Okay, yes, you have to give yourself time to mourn. Everything, life is in durations. Life is in phases, right? So ask yourself, how long do I want to mourn this incident? And you must understand that you cannot dwell so much in a particular situation. Failure to rise back up, because you have to rise above this issue. You have to see yourself. There's a book I read about Machiavelli. He said something about, yes, there is a lion out there, but you must learn to step over the lion and go and collect the diamond. Yes, it has happened. Yes, you have experienced a huge divorce. That's devastating. That can ruin a man if it's from a man. That can ruin a woman if it's from a woman, right? Whoever it is. But you need to, at the moment, say, okay, fine, I'm going to mourn this. I'm going to let myself heal, and I'll now tell myself, okay, this is the duration I'm going to take. So you must have things time-bound. That's being flexible mentally. Okay, you loved this person so well, and Valentine came, and the person decided to move on with another person without any information, no.
And that happens a lot.
That happens a lot.
Suddenly, you're hearing stories.
You're
about
hearing
something
stories,
else, yeah.
and in fact, the person is posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, and you're like, what? So you ask yourself, okay, I know I have invested so much, but what next? Right? Let me before I even move into another relationship, let me heal for 3 months. That's why you now see somebody say, I'm trying to heal from something, and spend time, 3 months, no problem. But don't stay there.
So let's talk about the next level. So once you've changed gears, you've decided that, okay, this you made a decision, here's what I'm going to do. That process of getting back up, one day at a time, what am I supposed to be thinking
fine.
about?
Now remove yourself from that thinking trap. People dwell on issues a lot. A lot of us dwell on issues a lot. So you need to start asking yourself, okay, after this thing has happened, I should stop thinking about it. Remove that, get out from that boundary condition. In physics, there was my first degree was physics, funny enough. So there's what we call boundary conditions. So leave the boundary conditions. A law back then is also in chemistry and is also in physics. It's called Hubble's law. That an electron or a proton, right, would continue to hit the walls of a particular boundary or energy level at a particular frequency, right? It will get to a particular point, it will burst out of that level and move to another energy band. Yes.
So in your own thinking, and so instead of keeping yourself in that particular mental condition for too long, you need to move on.
You need to move to the next level. You need to move to another energy level. You need to ask yourself, okay, this energy has failed me at this point, but I need to... Man has the power to recreate himself. Man has the power to reinvent himself, right? So stop dwelling on that, right? Remove that thinking trap. Get out from that thinking trap and now start thinking, okay, what are the solutions? What are the strategies? How do I navigate through this part? The next thing you're going to be looking at is very simple. Start getting into communities. People say, and it's true, right, that you heal faster when you have people around you. So, the process is easier. So you have people who are looking out for you, who are encouraging you. So don't isolate yourself. Most times, people isolate themselves when they are hit with a setback, right? When you have taken that decision, find yourself around someone. The next thing again you need to do is now start having a role model who I can look at. People say it's who you look at that determines who you look like.
So you follow these steps and then try to change your own life, become better, reinvent yourself.
I'll give you an example. So a certain lady was born with a particular disease of the spinal cord, right, in America, and fantastic story. So she couldn't walk. She had difficulty walking. So they were asking her, what has kept you going? Because each time they come to the hospital, they see her smiling, they see her excited. You know, she said that she draws inspiration from the then American president, which is Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Who was on the wheelchair.
Exactly.
Richard, I have to stop you there because time is far spent, but you have provided some direction for us today and some motivation as well. Let us know the steps that we should take. Man has the ability to reinvent himself.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of people are going to be reinventing themselves this week.
Yes.
Getting out of a setback. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You.
And hopefully you join us again
Definitely.
and conclude this conversation.
Definitely.
All right. Hello, Nigeria. A beautiful week has started for us, and we love that you are part of the show with us this morning. It's Monday.
Yes, it is.
So, you know, people are just booting.
I don't know about you, Yomi, but I had a great weekend, though. I had such a fun-filled, restful weekend. Like, nobody calling me, no need to rush out of the house, no need to do
It started off with people being a little bit upset about the election postponement, but yeah. I think people eventually knew what God was trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Force us all to sleep.
Yes, so.
You know, because people just don't, especially in Lagos, people just don't want to rest.
True.
You know, always on the go, always on the go. Weddings, events.
But there was still some diehard people, though. I still got some calls from customer care. Oh, we are open today, ma. I'm like, wow. Y'all should just go chill.
Yeah, but on the island, all the clubs are open later at night.
And how do you know that, Mr. Okwe?
Well, I sent out feelers.
Wow, okay.
And, you know.
Well, it's a great way to start the week. We're trying our best to refresh y'all. And the show is Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. Of course, this is the one and only Feel Good Breakfast Show. And my name is Yomi Owokwe. We have something really special for you today.
We're streaming live on Facebook right now at TVC Connect. And of course on our website, that's tvcontinental.tv. If you need to take us with you, please do. And make comments on how great we are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please make sure you use that hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, our folks in the kitchen are pretty busy right now. We know something's happening.
Oh, Jojo.
Yeah.
Oh, Jojo. I always used to like pronouncing that word.
Why are they pretending like they're busy?
Oh, Jojo.
But anyway, in our quest to ensure that you spend less time and less time and money and effort managing your car, we have something special for you. Aya Shofala will be joining us this morning to talk to us about maintaining your tires. I think we started this conversation last week.
Yes, indeed, and it's one that people need to hear. Our business motivation in the SME series for this week is the CEO of Clean Ace Dry Cleaning, Enibukun Adebayo.
And of course, guess what? It's an exciting time for TVC Communications and TVC News as we launch our new TVC News set. Looking all nice and fresh and international.
Yes,
Cutting edge.
Yes, so. Yes, so.
And we're going to be having a couple of our colleagues join us
to
talk to us about some of the things that we should look forward to over the next few weeks.
Very important.
Especially these elections and all the analysis and all the crazy stuff that's going to be happening.
But one thing I have to say is that a big shout out to all the TVC reporters. They've been all over Nigeria. I was just amazed at the effort. This is my first election here at TVC. I don't know. And I didn't know it was that vast. Every nook and cranny of Nigeria, they just seem to be there. And I'm like,
and they're
reporting live from there.
For an extra week.
Oh, goodness me.
Wow.
That's like a logistical nightmare. Whoever is planning their flights and road trips, I'm just like,
Big
crazy.
shout out to Sammy. I know he's usually the one in the middle of all of those.
Yeah.
Okay, and talking about, TVC News Nigeria. In the morning now we have Veronica and Mike.
Yeah.
In the afternoon we have Ngozi.
Yeah.
In the evenings, especially for the 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. news, we have Azizat and Nifemi.
Yes,
so
indeed.
it's an exciting feel to the new TVC News Nigeria.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Very
so
nice.
two things I wanted to talk about. Very quick shout, just a big birthday shout out to Mr. Steve Omero, GOC.
Yes,
belated
man.
birthday shout out. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy
Major part of our
birthday.
team.
Did you know that GOC's first son is 38 years old?
38, yeah.
38. Just putting it out
there. He was
there.
trying to be 23 this morning.
He's claiming, so he's claiming, you can't even be football age again. It's now tennis age or something.
You can't understand what Yomi means by the first child is 38 years old. This is a man that comes in bouncing. Like,
yes, so when
what's
it's trainers and face cap.
And then when he's displeased, he goes...
Have you seen the Shaku Shaku movie?
Yeah.
Man,
we love you, GOC. We love you.
Second, I'll talk about this more tomorrow, but Juicy Smollett. Not cool.
Okay, so that's
we spoke about it here.
Yeah.
That's why tomorrow, get ready for Entertainment News. We'll trash that issue quite
the whole Nigerian thing and
so
how they said he paid them to stage it.
Dude actually staged an attack on himself.
Are you sure about that? Are we completely
He's denying
sure?
it. Yesterday he was still denying it, but the evidence is already pointing to the fact.
No, he actually did. It's not a case of are you sure. The police have released 1 or 2 official reports. The Nigerian brothers Ola and Bimbo Shundayo are cooperating with them. They are his friends. They were extras on the set of Empire. They were the ones caught on tape. They even got to the store where they bought the rope. It's not a case of are you sure? Goodness. Who goes there? Are you sure? Baba, you.
Wow.
So
he should be arrested.
You know, they went after that. Yeah, he should be. The law has to take its full course because people now, he has cried wolf. Now people who actually are victims of such a crime might not be given as much attention as they should be.
People go extra lengths for publicity or for extra, you know.
But why would you do that?
The fear was that from what they said.
Dude, there's a Nigerian artist that claimed to be dead one time, like, seriously.
Okay, so in my
dead,
books, I don't know, innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree.
And that's my own view.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the outdoors, and we promised that we're going to be talking to you about tires today. And Ayo Shofela is joining us this morning to talk to us about caring for our tires. Now, last week, you took us through, let's go over what we did last week and then start on what we want to talk about this week.
All right, we spoke about tire size last week. We spoke about alignment and how it affects the tire wear. Then we spoke about tires, big and smaller tires on the car, the effect of putting the big tires on the car and the small tires on the car. So today we're going to be looking at tire pressure.
Tire pressure, very important, because
very,
especially
very
when you do long distance and things like that.
Exactly, and in this part of the country, a lot of people, they just ignore the idea of putting the correct tire pressure in their tires. Now, every tire has a specific amount of pressure that it can take. Manufacturers will take their time to put the maximum amount of pressure that a tire can take on the body of the tire. So you see tires carrying things like 50 psi, 44 psi,
nobody reads that. Like, people generally don't read it. So
vulcanizers actually read it. Those who inflate the tires will read it, but they actually read a wrong meaning into it.
Okay, right.
So you see a vulcanizer telling you that your tire is supposed to take 50 psi, whereas that is the maximum amount of pressure that the tire can handle. On the side of the door, the manufacturer will tell you the adequate amount of pressure to put in the tire, which will be around 35, 30, sometimes 40, which is like very, very rare, but 35 and 30 is usually very common. That's because once you start driving and the tire starts getting hot, pressure is going to build up in the tire. So you find that if you start your journey with
I'm not sure if we
PSI,
can open the door and actually check where these things are written. And if the camera can just help us catch it.
This is it here.
Okay, so we have it over here. I don't know if we can get the camera here.
This is recommended inflation pressure.
Okay, so it's called recommended inflation pressure.
And it indicates that it should be done when tires are cold.
Not when you have been driving for a long time.
Not when you've been driving for a long time. So
yeah, but if you're going to drive from your house to the vulcanizer, it'll already be hot.
Yeah, it happens.
So, okay,
for
this car, what we have here. So where's the recommended PSI?
You have this as index PSI here, 32.
Okay, so it should be 32.
It tells you front and back 32 with normal load. With maximum load, it should still stay at 32.
Wow. So we can. So once you check. So do all cars have it here, or do
yeah,
they have
all cars carry it here. Okay. All modern cars carry it here. Okay. Older cars will carry it inside the fuel cap.
Right.
Once you open your fuel cap.
Okay, so what's the effect of having it too high or too low?
If it's too high, you would find out that the center of the tire is all that will make contact with the road.
If it's too high?
Yeah, if it's too high. You all just have this area of the tire making contact with the road, which means that this area will wear out faster than this side.
Right.
So that's why you see some tires, the sides are okay, but the center is gone.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that a lot, especially even with my car as well. Okay, so we have, the center wears out. What if the tire pressure is too low? What happens?
If it's too low, the sides wear out faster than the center, because now the sides will be sagging and sitting on the road. So you find that the two sides will wear out faster than the center of the tire.
Right. Okay, so we checked the tire pressure, recommended tire pressure inside. Is there a recommended tire pressure written on the body of the tire
Yes,
itself?
it is, but I don't think the camera might be able to pick it up.
Okay, the camera might not pick it. Okay, so for this one is 65. So that means this is a large tire. Obviously,
yeah, this is for a light truck. Yeah,
for a light truck, because I can see it written there
as
well.
Truck,
it's written light truck on it. So this is slightly larger. That's why the pressure should be 65.
Exactly.
And then for this one, obviously this is a smaller. 50 or so. This is a smaller car.
Maximum pressure 44 psi.
Okay, 44 will be the maximum.
Exactly.
So wow. So these are some of the things that we need to learn instead of just allowing.
Just going to your vulcanizer and saying, please inflate my tires, and then he just pumps 44 in.
Yeah.
Now the disadvantage of that is once you start driving, the pressure is going to build up, because we know how heat and pressure work together. Once the tire starts getting hot, pressure is going to start expanding the tire, which means you could start your journey with 35 psi and end it with like 60.
Wow.
And that could cause a blowout. That's one of the major causes of blowouts on the road.
When the tire expands.
Once the air becomes too much in the tire.
So in that case, isn't it better to just leave it in a lower pressure, and then so that when it expands, it's now...
With the technologies we have on cars now, tire pressure monitoring system, it will keep warning you that the tires are too low.
Well, yeah, my car does that. So it gives you an indication. There's a sign that gives you that it's either too low or too high and things like that.
So you should just try as much as possible. What I advise customers or car owners to do is have a portable gauge in your car. So in the morning, before you go out, just check anyone that's low. The ones they sell on the market now are even battery operated. You just connect it to your battery.
Just like a small thermometer kind of thing that you just stick in there.
And your tires.
So how about when I go to the vulcanizer? Sometimes I'm focused on just one tire. And because that's where I feel the issue is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but should the vulcanizer also check everything?
Yes, he should check everything, and you should insist that he follows the recommended pressure. Exactly.
Okay, because I've seen a situation where some people will drive up to the vulcanizer and say, give me 40 all around.
That's because they've known from time that 40, 40, 40. And then there are times when you tell him put 30 and he says, oh, no, 30 is not going to be enough. You cannot, funny enough, if you look at a tire with 30 psi and a tire with 45 psi, you would not be able to visibly see the difference. That's right. You would not be able. You see them hitting, pounding the tire, that doesn't make any difference. So it's always better to insist on the correct
Very nice.
pressure.
So what other care do I need to focus on with regards to tires? Because I know that we're rounding off our tire discussion this week.
We also need to look at balancing. Balancing is very important when it comes to tires. As a tire is this way, once you put it on the rim, you're not going to have even weight distribution on the tire. If you put it on the car like that...
Once it's been separated from the rim and
once it's been separated and put back, you're not going to have even weight distribution on the tire. Even from the factory, they will tell you that you don't have even weight distribution. So once you put it on the car and you start driving, you find that sometimes you have vibration. It feels like the car is not balanced on the road. You should always take your car to a balancing center where they would have additional weights that they add to the tire. They spin it on a machine. The machine tells you the particular area of the tire where it's not balanced, and then they add additional weights to it. That's also very important.
Okay, so balancing is really, really important.
Very, very important.
But how about sometimes when even if you don't separate it, after a while of driving, you just discover that it shakes, or maybe you run into a pothole or something. That happens as well.
It happens over time. It happens when the tire starts wearing out. For instance, you start having bulges on the tire. You find that those areas will not be balanced anymore. So you take it to a balancing center and they will either tell you that, okay, we can balance this, or the tire is not good anymore. So balancing is very, very important. Then one last thing we also need to put into consideration is tire rotation. Most car owners don't know about tire rotation.
Most car owners don't know anything about anything. You know how it is now.
It's always good to read up about your car. So tire rotation involves moving your tires from either front to back or back to front. It differs from vehicle to vehicle.
Okay. So we should actually do that?
You're actually supposed to do that. This is a saloon car. The way you rotate your tires on this will be different from the way you rotate your tires on an SUV.
So you move the tires from the front
to the back,
and then the ones in the back to the front. Okay.
Yeah, depending on the kind of car you're driving, you could move from driver's side front to passenger side back, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just carry it back and then from back to the front.
Okay, so I like that. I mean, so these are some of the things that we're learning that are really, really important. One last thing before we round off. I know that a lot of people can't afford new tires. Okay. And so a lot of times what you would find, especially in Nigeria's markets, is that people like to buy used tires. Is it advisable under any circumstance?
Well, I don't advise to go for used tires because, one, you don't know the condition of the tires you are getting. Then, two, the safety agencies in this country might not allow that because of what we call tire expiry dates. The tire always carries a manufacturer date. It doesn't carry an expiry date.
Yeah.
So what you do is you add 4 years to the manufacturing date. For instance, on this car, you have 3818. This is the manufacturing date. It's always after the DOT, Department of Transport.
Right.
So that tells you that this tire was manufactured the 38th week of 2018.
Right, right.
The first 2 are for the week. The last 2 are for the year.
Yeah, so that's just a few months ago. So obviously 4 years
after. So 4 years to this will tell you when it will expire. But then one thing we don't look at is that once the tire has started rotating on the road, it hardly expires that way.
Yeah.
It's only when it's been stacked up on the shelf
that it would
the rubber expire. Will start delaminating and things like that.
All right, we have to round off now, but if you have comments, please send them to our social media platforms. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria, and also if you want to send our messages directly, you are at Automedics on Instagram and of course on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's always really, really great having you on the show every Monday. All right, so we have to get back to the studio now and find out what's going on Wake Up Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, Yomi. That was a nice expose, as it normally is with Ayo. Now, if you live in Lagos, chances are high that you're familiar with the dry cleaning brand called Clean Ace. Now, with me today on the show is Enibokun Adebayo, who is the founder and CEO of Clean Ace brand, Clean Ace Foundation, and the Clean Ace Academy, which was birthed from the need to structure the dry cleaning business in Nigeria. You're welcome, sir. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Now, there is so much about you, but let's start from your origin story. We've already had a wonderful time discussing, but let's see the origin story of Clean Ace. You know, how did this wonderful, this brand that we see today, how did it start?
I used to love ironing as a young boy. Anyway, thank you very much. And my name is Enibokun. Enibokun, the blessed of the Lord.
The blessed of the Lord. I like that. I like that. Thank you, sir.
I loved ironing as a little boy.
Okay.
My grandfather used to be a local washerman, and my father did some laundry and dry cleaning, though a chartered accountant, but he started the dry cleaning. And from there, I mean, I wrote JAMB 6 times. I left Federal Government College Maiduguri in 1988.
Yes, okay.
88, and I started writing JAMB 89, 90, 91. I wrote 6 JAMBs.
6? And what were you doing all through this period?
That was when my father started that business, and that my childhood hobby of loving to iron. I mean, I saw bigger irons, more professional irons, and I saw some fantastic guys that worked with my father. And, you know, I mean, I loved that industry. So I saw, I mean, my father started the laundry in 91. Okay. 2, 3, 4. I gained admission into Ado-Ekiti, University of, the present Ado-Ekiti University.
Okay.
And it was, I didn't want to go to the university after all because I had been completely lost. I mean, I loved my father's business.
Okay.
You know, and back and forth during holidays, strikes and all that. I come back, work there. And eventually, a cousin of mine started her business, fantastic dry cleaning. I left my father's place, I joined her, and I saw dry cleaning in another dimension. It was, I mean, I loved fabric care. I loved seeing people dress nice, and I loved, more than just seeing them dress nice, I loved seeing them, I mean, you want to maintain those clothes. You want to keep them crisp, clean, looking nice, and I mean, and I had my elder brothers. I mean, they were designer freaks.
So this was in the family.
Yes,
you could say it was in the family.
You know.
So now let's look at Clean Ace as it is, as the brand. From those beginning times, how did it grow? What was the process which made it to what it is today? Something that up and coming entrepreneurs can learn from.
You know, today people come to the Clean Ace Academy and ask me, okay, so I want to do business, and I tell them go and do a business plan, but I don't have a business plan.
Why so?
Nigeria defies every business plan. I'm telling you. You will have to be updating that business plan per minute. Per minute, per second, per minute. Okay. But you see, I got into business. For me, Clean Ace and the dry cleaning industry is more of a calling. I've seen God do awesome things. How did I get here? Where did I start from? No capital, no sponsor, no backup anywhere.
So how did you get there? How did
I left my cousin's business, and at that I had seen the greatest of dry cleaning, and but I didn't have any capital. And God led me to say that, you know what, resign from that job, and I will start you off. So for me, it is more of direction. Knowing what you like, your passion, where your strength lies, and being very honest that I don't want to be like somebody else. I just want to be original.
I love this knowledge.
I want to do what I love, what I have a very deep conviction for. And there's that inner strength from God that just tells me that I will make you. It's not about today. I will make you. When I got the name, Clean Ace, God told me, I said, God, what does Clean Ace? What does it mean? He says, I'm going to make it the ace among cleaners. This is a business. I started going from place to place, picking the dirty clothes with my own hands. I had to go to my friends' offices. In fact, even my friends that lived around me, I'll go to their offices to pick up the clothes so that I could meet their colleagues and they could see what, I do, and day by day, day by day, day by day, I mean, from picking up from their clothes, from homes, from offices, we have several stores. I mean, I didn't have enough money to get a store. I didn't have enough money to buy a machine. But thank God for a friend of mine that bought me one portable, small industrial machine that you pour water in,
okay,
allow it to boil.
Now this is the point, because we have enough people that tell stories that, look, I don't know how it happened, but God just came in. No. You know, processes like
God
this.
God will always send somebody.
Okay.
God will always, there will always be somebody to give you that encouragement, to give you that direction. Now, I had done a course in the Lagos Business School, SMP 21. Okay. That was in 2003. Then EDC, Enterprise Development Center. I mean, I got into that organization when they were just about starting off. Peter Bankole, I mean, a great support, a great mentor. So God will supply. When the business started, we needed to scale. Bank said, even without collateral, we will work it out for you. Now,
without collateral?
Without collateral. And angel investors, people that just came up to say, classmates I had in LBS that came to say, you, this boy, you are so passionate about this thing you are doing. And we have the conviction that you are going to succeed. And when you are telling that your success story, we must be there. And the person that bought a machine bought, the person that gave me an air conditioner gave, the person that bought a washing machine, and I said, okay, what do you need? It got to a point that I said, no, I think I even have too much.
Enough.
Yes.
So, but now what I get, the common thread I can get from this is that your passion was very evident.
Correctly.
That's what set you out.
In fact, my neighbor, where I lived in Bagada at the time, my neighbor, because I started washing at home, and the guy sees me going.
You doing the washing
yes,
yourself?
I wash it and I iron all night. In fact, I didn't know the little generator I had was powerful enough to power the steam iron. So what I do is I sleep in the sitting room. You know, I had a baby then. I had my son just off the set.
Wow.
You know, I had my baby boy. He's 15 now.
He's 15.
And
wow.
I leave my wife and him to sleep in the bedroom, and I go to the sitting room, put on the fluorescent light so that when the NEPA comes, you know, the light gets into my eyes, and I can wake up and I can continue ironing.
Wow.
Until I got the first person to wash, the second person, somebody to iron, and today we have 120 staff. We have 10 stores.
You know, that is now, there's something you mentioned when you spoke about power. Power has been quite a lot, has limited a number of businesses, even big businesses, very, very big ones have left this country due to power. How were you able to overcome that challenge? Because your business is one that is really dependent on power supply.
You see, if anybody wanting to do business in Nigeria, you just must structure your mind to say that I mean, that dream, that passion must be strong enough that nothing is going to stand in your way. I have my transformers, I have 380 kVA generators, 250 kVA generators. I have generators speed everywhere. Every store, I mean, there are buildings where we have pickup centers that, you know what, there is no power in that. You have to find a way to energize because you want to give that look and feel. We spend close to 10% of revenue. And
the startup revenue or your...
No, on monthly
revenue,
10-15%.
Of your revenue?
Yes.
On generating power?
On generating power. I'm not even talking about servicing the generators now. I'm just talking on diesel and NEPA.
And NEPA.
Even when the light is not there, I mean, because you have the because you have the transformer, you still have to. So, but you know what? We are not among those that
complain about that.
You know.
So the point is that you have to have that mindset, or you have to plan your business in such a way that it's independent.
Correctly. You produce your water, I mean, boreholes, treatment plants, and all that. You don't, if you have to deliver the service, then you just go out, and that's where the passion is very, very key. Oh. Because you must enjoy this, it must be your life. I don't do any other business.
Mr. Debayo, you know, we could talk for like 2 hours and we would not scratch the surface, but this is quite an interesting story. Probably social media where people can get back to you and continue the story or something. Yeah. A social media handle?
Clean Ace NG and Twitter. NG. Yes, Clean Ace, all on Clean Ace.
Thank you so very much. I would still love to continue this some other time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Well done.
I hope you have been inspired there as part of our SME series today, Mr. Tebayo of Clean Ace. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm inspired as I'm here. We have quite a whole, we have something else coming up on the show. It's not the end of the show yet, but then we'll just take this break. There's a whole lot more coming.
Welcome back. Now, we told you earlier on that TVC News is doing something really special, something different. Change of colors, change of montage, like it's just a transformation. Absolutely beautiful and amazing.
It's like
if you saw it last week, yeah, like a brand new channel actually. And of course, it's nice. We just like it, and we're really, really proud. And we have one of our colleagues joining us this morning. I'm sure you know him. He's a regular face.
Nifemi is right here.
Morning, guys, how are you today?
Fine.
The last time I was here, I was reading the news over there.
Yeah.
I hope that I make it to the kitchen this morning.
Yes, you will, after all your hard work. And exactly. I have to say, you all look amazing on that set.
Yes, thanks to TVC and, of course, the driver of the Vision. Reading the news on the news set is like driving a new car or flying a new jet. It just inspires you. And you're like, wow, we're living the dream. Let's do this. It's really pretty exciting.
Yeah, very nice.
So could we just talk a little bit about what the tagline is all about?
First, with breaking news isn't just a slogan. It's our creed. So we have the technology to beam live pictures from anywhere at any time in Nigeria. And I don't know if you've been following TVC News since Friday. We've been breaking the news. But then it's just beyond the screaming headline, because anybody can do that. You can just pick your phone and tweet some fake news. But we are not only fast, we are fast, we're balanced, and we're accurate. So we're talking to the many stakeholders. We're providing balance to the developing story. And that is what makes it pretty exciting, that we're really bringing broadcast excellence to Nigeria.
Yeah, I don't know if we have pictures of some of the things that we saw over the weekend, especially on Friday. Yeah. I'm sure we're going to be some of our viewers are going to be seeing the pictures.
That's right.
But there's a lot that went into developing that set. From some of the things that we read, and of course when we were there, and some of the things that we also heard. It took about 6 months to develop it, to build it. We flew in a bunch of guys from
all around,
we helped us
all over the world.
All over the world, really.
We helped us set it up and all of that, and we also had local talent as well. That's obviously right. And the guys in house who helped us develop all the ID and everything. Just talk to us about some of the things that
beyond the amount of money invested into that studio, beyond the aesthetics and what you guys call paparazzi and all of that. I believe that it is the ingenuity of our workforce, the investment that TVC has made in its staff members. And so we have correspondents, we have reporters all across Nigeria who are at the coal face of news as it happens. So that is exactly what complements, the $1 million investment in the studio set. So it's beyond the show. There's also the substance of it. So we're not only showing you beautiful pictures, but then you have some intelligent minds who are on the field. For instance, the rescheduled election on Friday. You needed to see how we covered it. So
I love this.
Azizat and I were on the news. We finished the news by 11, and still I didn't came and said, we are first with breaking news. You guys ain't going home. And guess what? We started the studio analysis by 1 a.m. and we didn't leave by 3 a.m. So we're first to break the news. And we're not just only breaking it, we're showing live pictures from the INEC headquarters in Abuja.
I saw the live pictures from Abuja, and by morning we also had live reports from all over the country.
And we were following the development
from
side.
Katsina, from Kaduna.
It's just exciting.
Kano, it was fantastic. I was like, what?
Nigeria is a very large place, and then you begin to wonder if a single broadcast channel can give, a total coverage to election. But that's exactly what we're doing. We have reporters all across Nigeria who are not only there to see things, but they experience. They can balance the story. The development in Kaduna, for instance, we were speaking to the state governor, who did not only get the government point of view, we went to that particular local government and talked to the people on the ground to find out what exactly transpired. So you can be sure that when you turn into TVC News, you're not only getting the breaking news. First, you're getting it balanced and accurate.
Okay, so can we mention the actual bulletins, the official bulletins? I know that there's the breakfast at 6 a.m. Could you tell us?
9 a.m. and that kick started this morning. I saw it in my living room and I was so proud. I mean, Mike and Veronica, fantastic job. And then the news anchor, me and Akiri, spoke to someone from Germany, analyzing all of the latest football stories. But then the 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. bulletin are our prime time news. So it's not only going to show on TVC News, it's also going to be showing on TVC, our entertainment channel. And what we attempt to do with those two bulletins is to give a comprehensive wrap-up of the day's news, both at home and abroad. So you want to know what transpired in the day. We're not only telling you the news, we're also speaking to the major stakeholders to give you a balanced perspective.
We have some footage that we'd like to show our viewers, because we've been talking about this a lot.
News first with breaking news.
Getting stories on the air first, fast, balanced and accurate. That's what we're all about.
We are live not just in Lagos and Abuja, but with satellites and correspondents all over Nigeria. We can get stories on the air anytime, anywhere.
At 7 and 10 p.m. every weeknight, we aim to give Nigerians the most comprehensive wrap-up of the day's news at home and abroad.
All of the top stories you need to know, from sports, finance, business, politics, and so much more.
It's not just about politics, it is live.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Very international.
What's that mean?
Yes, that was you.
Nice
I was looking $1 million.
Yes, you were.
Love it. Looks really international, looks really fresh.
It feels like a great opportunity to reward, at least one person from the team with breakfast today.
Oh, yes, I was looking forward to that.
Is
Each time I watch Wake Up Nigeria, I always look forward to sit on that black seat.
Oh.
And I hope that is exactly what you're talking
about. And
about.
also particularly because we don't know when Nifemi is going home.
Yes. So
since it's election week.
I'm looking forward to breakfast, people.
Please have a seat, have a seat.
It's exciting to have you in the kitchen, Nifemi.
Yes.
Welcome.
Oh my.
Away from reading the news.
I hope you guys are, hope my family members are watching from home.
Yes, so.
I'm taking breakfast.
You're welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Today we have Chef Ture making the dish. So tell us about it.
Yeah, we made shrimp ojojo and hibiscus juice, and I garnished it with
Ojojo, that's like
hibiscus
an
juice
dish or something.
Where is it from?
I'm from Ekpe, so
Ijebu. Ijebu, yes, Ijebu. Beautiful.
Some Ijebu flavor going on there.
Don't spoil it. It's hibiscus.
Hibiscus juice is zobo. But that looks amazing.
Very nice.
I love the traditional appeal to it, so I'm going to be eating from the leaf, right?
Yes.
Do we have to pray? Or I should just go ahead?
We can. Please have a taste.
While you're doing all the talking, I'm just going to have a taste of
As usual, early starts. Looks like Titi is fast.
This tastes delicious. Fantastic job, chef.
Did you hear the crunch? I heard that crunch. I heard that crunch, and that is a perfect crunch for ojojo. Beautiful. Well done.
And while that is going on, we have to round up the show. Big thank you to our friends over at Homely NG.
Yes, indeed.
For the kitchen accessories, as usual, on the show.
Thank you. And of course, thank you to Fola at Fola's Place for the amazing hairstyling you do for us. Thank you so much. A big shout out to all our guests today. Ayo Shofola with the car, with the automedics, yeah? And then we also had the gentleman from Clean Ace. His name just skipped my mind.
Yeah.
Eni Bukun. Yes, did I get it right? Eni
Yeah.
Bukun. And of course, a big thank you to you for coming to talk to us about the new.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. So you guys
I'm actually
should.
envying your set.
Yeah, it's really
I wish
beautiful.
I was on that set.
You guys want to crossover?
Yes,
well,
yes.
Invite us.
Yes,
We'll
already.
No way.
We're going to do something with the Wake Up Nigeria set very soon.
Yeah.
Give a big surprise to everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow, Tuesday. Don't forget, 7 a.m. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a great day.
Good morning, everyone.
Bye.